Now, Channel 3 Eyewitness News begins with breaking news.
A scary morning for some Hartford residents as a multifamily home here on Sharon Street goes up in flames. We'll have the latest coming up.
Plus, we are tracking breaking news right now in Willimantic. We'll have the very latest on a shooting just steps away from Eastern Connecticut State University's campus. We'll have those details, including the questions investigators are still trying to answer. Eyewitness News starts right now.
Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, March 18th. I'm Caitlin Francis with meteorologist Scott Haney. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We are on top of all those big stories this morning. That breaking news out of Hartford where crews are battling a fire right now, and what we know so far about that shooting in Willimantic near Eastern's campus. Live reports coming up in just a second. But Scott,
yeah,
it's much better this morning than it was yesterday.
100%. In terms of sky conditions, but it's
Right.
about 20 degrees colder.
Yes.
A little chilly out there, and we have wind chill values in the teens and low 20s in parts of the state. There's a bit of a breeze. It's chilly.
Yeah.
We also have this. It's a Connecticut River flood warning from Hartford all the way down to the shoreline. Again, the Connecticut River is going to be at above flood stage over the course of the next couple of days by about 2 feet, 3 feet. It's not going to be anything substantial. This is not out of the realm of normalcy here for this time of year. You get all the snow melts up to the north that flows down the Connecticut River, plus the rain we had yesterday. So you can see here, we've got a lot of numbers out there for you, but flood stage 15, flood stage 16 in Hartford, and in Middle Haddam, the flood stage is at 7. So here's where we're expecting the numbers to be. So just a little bit above flood stage, okay? Beautiful start out there this morning. The clouds making a departure. It is still raining over the Cape and the islands. This is yesterday's system. This is yesterday's. Look at this.
Whoa.
Look at that, just paralleling Connecticut. So not for us. We're under mostly clear skies right now, and it's going to be a beautiful day today with temperatures topping out in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Bright and mild. Sun is up at 6:57, sets at 7:01. The day is getting longer. Spring is arriving on Thursday, and it looks like a beautiful day today and an even better day tomorrow. And I'll be back with that full forecast coming up in just a bit. In the meantime, Kate, any problems out there on the roads?
No, nice and quiet so far this morning.
Terrific riff.
Spring in full bloom.
Spring in full bloom, spring in February.
Yes, it's March, and it is almost actually spring. A very chilly start here this morning, though, so just make sure that you're warming up that car if you need to. Bundle up as you're heading out the door, but majority of the state looking pretty good. Those road conditions are so much better than they were yesterday. As we take a live look here in Hartford on 91, Middletown along Route 9. You can see nice clear visibility out there this morning. Live look in Waterbury on 84 by the Mixmaster, and in Meriden along 691. Again, traffic volume nice and light as you're getting ready to head out the door and hit the road. No crashes, but we do have a little bit of overnight construction. I'll get you details on that coming up in just a few. Let's quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers. It's 4:33. Let's get you back to that breaking news that's happening right now in Hartford. Crews are fighting a fire on Sharon Street, and your reporter Marcy Jones live there right now. Marcy arrived on scene just more than a half hour ago. So what are you seeing?
Good morning. It certainly is a very busy morning for fire crews here in Hartford. Take a look behind me. This is where they're focusing their efforts. You can see they actually just put up the ladder on the right-hand side of 46 Sharon Street. There are very small flames still visible at the way tip top of that home. It looks almost like outside of one of the external windows. So they have been still actively fighting this fire. We've got about a dozen first responder vehicles out here, as well as dozens of actual first responders. We've got maybe 15 to 20 residents standing outside in everything from bathrobes and blankets to the lucky ones who were able to grab a winter coat. As far as what we're dealing with as what sparked this or any injuries, we have not yet been able to talk with the chief and get any details confirmed, as this is still a very active scene here. We do know that there is a city bus that is down the street just a little bit that's acting as a warming station for the people that are temporarily displaced. As soon as we get any more information, we'll bring that to you. But for now, that's the latest. Sending it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Marcy. We'll, of course, stay on top of that story for you throughout the morning. And right now, we're also tracking developing news in Willimantic. Police there investigating a late-night shooting near Eastern Connecticut State University. Your reporter, Roger Suzanne, joins us now live from the scene with the very latest information. So, Roger, the good news, I think, is that students are on spring break, right?
Right, so the campus here is relatively quiet. Police do tell us they will share an update with us a little bit later this morning, but we can tell you that investigators have been focusing their search in and around this local restaurant and bar, Blarney's Cafe. It's also just steps away from an ECSU dorm. Now, last night, minutes after our crews arrived, we actually watched as officers taped off Blarney's Cafe, which is on High Street. We know last night Eastern Connecticut State University sent out an alert about the situation, warning students as well as staff members. But as Kate mentioned, Eastern is on spring break right now, which is some good news as, again, the campus is relatively quiet. At this point, investigators have not told us how many people were injured, the extent of those injuries, or whether or not a shooter is in custody. But Willimantic's police chief did tell us last night that detectives are still gathering more information. And again, they will share new information with us later this morning. Now, as soon as we get that update from police, of course, we will share it with you live. Reporting live in Willimantic this morning, I'm your reporter, Roger Suzanin, Channel 3 Eyewitness News. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Roger, thank you. It's 4:36 this morning in New Haven. We're working to learn if anyone will be charged after an 8-year-old boy was killed in an accidental shooting. Police say they responded to the home Sunday night. That's where they found that boy on the floor with a gunshot wound. He later died at the hospital. Now, police say multiple members of that boy's family were home at the time, and police say it seems to be accidental, as we mentioned, with an unsecured gun. Also this morning, we are on top of developing news in Waterbury. A woman who says she's the biological mother of the man allegedly held captive by his stepmom, now speaking out. She did not want to release her name, but the CT Insider identified the biological mother as a 52-year-old woman from Meriden. We did reach out to her. She gave us this statement saying she gave full custody of her son to her ex-husband with the hopes of giving him a better life. She says she and her family searched for her son, but were shut out. The stepmother, 56-year-old Kimberly Sullivan, was arrested last week for assault and kidnapping. We're taking a look here at that body cam footage from when that fire was first reported. Again, Sullivan will be in court later this month. And this morning, state Republicans are pushing Governor Ned Lamont, looking to see if there are resources to figure out how this tragedy went on for so long. They sent a letter asking if there will be a tip line or an email address for the public to help. No word yet from the governor. And we are continuing to track the latest developments in this story out of Waterbury. Please download the WFSB app. You can stay up to date on this as well as our other top stories throughout the day. Just scan the QR code there on your screen, and it is a free resource for you. We're following some breaking news from overnight from overseas. More than 300 Palestinians are dead this morning as Israeli airstrikes continue to slam the Gaza Strip, shattering that ceasefire deal. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he ordered the strikes because there was no progress in extending the ceasefire. Israel's defense minister says the fighting will continue until all hostages are back home. Early this morning, the Israeli Defense Force ordered evacuations in eastern Gaza. Well, happening today back here in Connecticut, thousands of people expected to gather to honor the life of Yale police officer Gregory Swiatek. A wake is being held at East Haven Memorial Funeral Home today from 4 to 7. He died unexpectedly after suffering a medical event last week, and his funeral set for tomorrow. Now to an update to a story we first brought to you on Saturday. Mothers United Against Violence are holding a vigil for the man killed in a shooting in Hartford. Police say 35-year-old Myron Myers was shot outside the American Legion building on Main Street. He later died at the hospital, and police have not announced any arrests at this time. That vigil is tomorrow in Hartford. All are welcome. 4:38 happening today. President Donald Trump is speaking with Russian President Vladimir Putin about ending the war in Ukraine. Trump says they are planning to talk about land, power plants, and a U.S. proposed 30-day ceasefire. American negotiators will also continue their talks with Ukraine and Russia throughout the week. And happening today in Hartford, several state lawmakers will be taking part in what is being called a Medicaid Day of Action. Senators Chris Murphy and Richard Blumenthal, along with several House representatives, will join Governor Ned Lamont for a rally against any potential cuts to Medicaid. A recent analysis by the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office found a House GOP budget proposal could not be reached without reducing spending on Medicaid. Almost 1 million residents here in our state are enrolled. That event starts at 3 o'clock on the Capitol Building's South Lawn. And happening today, Veterans Affairs is at the forefront here for Senator Richard Blumenthal. He's introducing a new bill for veterans called Putting Veterans First Act. This would reinstate veterans fired by sweeping DOJ layoffs with full back pay and benefits and stop them from being fired in future mass terminations. It would also require the VA to certify to Congress that the removal of employees would not impact the quality of care to veterans.
All right, 4:40. Hi, everybody. Good morning. The rain is still coming down to the Cape and the islands, but for not here in Connecticut. We're expecting mostly sunny skies during the day today. Let's check in with those temperatures because they are a little on the chilly side. We're talking about numbers that are in the upper 20s, low 30s. You'll notice 30, 32 for Torrington. Yeah, that's a little chilly, right? All right, better, a little bit cooler than yesterday by about 16 to 22 degrees cooler than yesterday. And the wind direction, look at that sustained wind right now. Woo, that wind means something, and we do have gusts out there to 30 miles an hour in Groton. So this is what it feels like. Some upper teens out there, grab that jacket as you're heading out the door. It's going to be a beautiful day today with temperatures warming up close to 60 degrees. And I'll be back with your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. Kate?
All right, thanks, Scott. Coming up this morning, new developments in this deadly crash that killed a driver more than a year ago. And the latest on the investigation into the missing spring breaker as search efforts enter the second week. Plus, we're learning more about the last calls made before Gene Hackman and his wife were found dead. The latest details revealed. You're watching Eyewitness News on your Tuesday. We'll be right back.